Yeah, g'day YouTubers. Tinker O'Toole again here with another video. Going to talk about some oils. Don't want to open a can of worms on this subject because everybody's got an opinion. But what I'm going to talk about is if you're using the Maxima Caster 927, what a smell that's got. That's got a beautiful smell. I use that generally on older saws. I don't use it all the time, just every now and then. I love the smell of it. But a lot of the caster oils in sub-zero temperatures will separate from the petroleum. So be aware of that. Formula K2, that is a beautiful racing oil as well. So I use a variety of different stuff. A lot of people don't like the still stuff, so I tend to use Motul as well, Motul 800. Any of the two-stroke motorcycle racing oils are generally pretty good. So I'm not here to turn around and tell you this one's better than that one, because that's just only going to open a can of worms. Use what you want. But generally speaking, try and buy a good brand name, and generally you can't go wrong. And certainly Maxima oils are certainly out there. But that's not what the video's about. What it's about, you'll be surprised how many people don't mix their oil up properly. They don't even have proper measuring devices. Or they might want to mix up 20 litres. So what they'll do, they'll pour a bit of oil in there, they'll measure it out rough. They'll go to a service station, or gas, whatever you want to, and they'll actually use the Bowser as a proper measuring device, which is really not a good idea, because how many times do you get shortchanged at a service station? And there's quite a few round in my area that shortchange us. I don't know if they're tampering with the Bowsers or whatever, but my vehicle's a diesel and it always gets 10 litres per 100 kilometres. So if I've done 250 kilometres, it'll take 25 litres. And I remember going into one servo and I reckon I put about 5-6 litres more than I should. So I definitely reckon their Bowsers was out. It's happened a couple of times, so I just don't go to service stations that I believe I'm not getting the correct amount. It's not worth the argument. So you really do need something to measure your fluids in when you're mixing. And also mostly important that you shake them up. So just because you tip your oil in and you put your petrol in, you need to shake it. A lot of people don't, would you believe? And then they'll wonder why their saw blows up. So typically, I've got this measuring can from Stihl. It's only a little small thing. You have a look at it. Only holds 1 litre. But I can tell you what, you're guaranteed of the right amount. Now, I've got a cylinder at the back here. This is a 2 litre graduated cylinder. So, and this is graduated as well. So this is a graduated beaker, 5 litres. But generally what I've got to do, most of the time I don't mix up. Look, I wouldn't be mixing up more than 10 litres. And if I did, I just fill that up 5 times. Simple as that. It's no big deal. And then make sure that you mix it up. I just find handling 20 litres at a time is a bit awkward and a bit heavy. Yeah, sure, I can buy 20 litres in a jerry can, but I'll decant it from the jerry can into here and I'll mix up in something like this that holds about 5 litres. 5 litres of fuel lasts me long enough for a day, so it's not an issue. So what I like to do, that if I mix 5 litres up and I put the oil in there, give it a good shake. And even when you go to use it, give it another good shake. Don't just assume that it's perfect. And one of the ways that you can tell, you'll notice that the Stihl have got, this is a green colour, This is an older one. This is a bluish colour. And some of the other brands that are out there, they're reddish colour. That's quite common. The whole idea of that is that you can tell that if you pour out some fuel, that you can see whether it's been mixed by the colour. And that's the reason, because otherwise, you know, you could easily forget, say, oh, has that got bloody oil in it? So if they didn't put any colour in the oil, then you could quite easily make a mistake and ruin your saw. So I don't have any issues here in Australia with sub-zero temperatures, but that said, I tend to use that in summer and there's no issue anyway. But it will separate, and not just that, most of the castor oils should have an additive in them to stop separation. But castor oils, it's well known that they will separate below freezing temperature from the petroleum. So just bear that in mind. It's maybe something you're not aware of. Anyway, just give your fuel, your premix, a good shake when you make it up. And don't just assume that it's perfectly mixed when you go out there in the field. Give it another good shake just to make sure. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.